Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. Thank you to Johnny Deadly Trio for that amazing music. We are recording live here at the Craft Lounge, Beaumont, California, just north of the 10 freeway on Beaumont Avenue, where you can get the most amazing selection of craft beer, kombucha, hard cider, wine, mead, whatever it is you want. Come in and see Jimmy. Tell him the BeerDad and Brewed podcast sent you, and he will hook you up. Speaking of Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy?
What's up, BeerDad?
Jimmy, thanks for having us here as usual in the Beaumont, California, and enjoying your spot. But tonight's actually a special night. Why is it a special night?
So tonight we are honored to have the brewers and owners from 903 Brewing. We are blessed actually to have them here. Their beer here. We have a flight going on. So yeah, that's what we have going on. We got a bunch of good shit going on right now. So.
There is a bunch of good stuff going on because 903 Brewers is not just around the corner, right? They are all the way from Sherman, Texas. So we actually have Jeremy and Natalie here with us tonight. Jeremy, Natalie, how are you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for having us.
We're doing
excited.
good. Yeah, we're
awesome. Yeah, we're stoked to have you in Cali. Was hoping to have some more California weather for you, but Jeremy said this is nice enough to get out of
this
this
is fabulous for us.
Beautiful.
we almost had to break out the fur coat just to come here.
Right? Should have done that anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, a fur coat anytime is fantastic.
Exactly. That's awesome. So, well, welcome to Beaumont, California, and California in general. Thanks for coming and doing this amazing Tap Takeover. The patrons here in Beaumont were stoked because this is something that you don't normally see in Southern California, but you do now. Shout out to Hardy Hood Distribution for bringing 903 to SoCal. There's Hardy Hood right there.
Yep, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
What up, Tim?
With the beautiful haircut.
Beautiful haircut.
Look at that thing.
Love it.
Look at
Yeah,
that
got that gentleman's cut going. That's
Got
awesome.
the hard part going on and shit.
Amazing. Well, guys, the Tap Takeover here, something that Jimmy's doing here is they're doing flights for everybody. So we've got flights here on the table for all of us to partake in. I actually wore a Hawaiian shirt for one of them because it's called Hawaiian Shirt Slushy. Had to do it. But I'm really stoked. I've actually had your beer before as we were talking, and it's really cool to see it here in Southern California. It's probably, as owners of a brewery all the way in Texas, that's probably really cool for you to see in Southern California.
Always.
What's really fun is for us to be somewhere else, and it says on the board 903 Brewers, Sherman, Texas. Like to have our tiny hometown
there you go.
with their name on the board in Cali is really cool.
Sherman. Not, and I was actually telling your husband earlier, not a lot of people know where Sherman's at, but I do, because I told him back in like 2004, I actually flew out with my brother and applied for the police department out there.
You're kidding. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
It's been a minute.
Well, we are welcoming a lot of Calis right now in Sherman. It's super fun for us to meet people, and they already love craft beer, and it's really neat for us to have them there.
Cool little town. I mean, this was back in 2004, so I'm sure it's grown immensely since then.
Yes, no craft beer in 2004 in Sherman.
No. Back in 2004, I was drinking Miller.
Fun fact, you couldn't buy beer, wine, or liquor in Sherman in
Wow.
2004. It didn't change
Dry
until
County.
Yes,
Completely.
until 2011 or maybe 12.
It's so crazy to hear about those things like dry counties, Jimmy. Wouldn't that just be a bust out
Dude,
here?
I would lose my mind.
We were
funny?
super snotty about it. Like, people in Sherman were like, we're the better town because we're dry.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what's funny is our kids one day are going to look back and be like, wait a minute, you guys, well, I guess weed's legal in California.
Yeah.
But one day our kids are going to be like, wait a minute, you couldn't buy weed in
You're right.
Texas?
Exactly. Yep.
That's the way we look at liquor, right?
My kids say that now. So,
It's crazy. So I also remember on a business trip, and I was in, I want to say Lubbock area, and at the time they were dry as well. And I remember asking one of the guys I was there on business with, where the heck do we go to beer? He goes, dude, just get on the freeway, drive south. You're going to go about 4 exits. You won't miss it. It was like Vegas. You drove down south, and there was all these neon signs that said beer here, and there was like drive-through liquor stores.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on?
They don't ID.
No.
Oh, man, it's crazy. But, yeah, that's awesome. Little town in Texas all the way here to Southern California, and we were going to be sharing some of your beers, and I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited to try some of these because I haven't had any of these. So what do you want to start with?
Well, let's do this. So we're going to start first with the mango vanilla ice cream slushie.
Okay.
So this is the first slushie that we did that had the ice cream in it.
Okay.
So, like, think of summer in Texas, like mango ice cream. That's what you want. Mangoes, just like with our Berliner Weiss, like it's just such a good pairing with a sour beer. and I believe.
No, we got to smell.
Yeah, you'll smell. I believe it's the one on your far left.
Top or bottom?
Top left.
Top left.
Okay. You'll smell the vanilla ice cream right there out of the gate if that's the one.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know, Justin. I think you got the wrong one.
Did you get? I think you did. I think you're wanting to go right here.
Am I going that way? Is it this one or that one?
I think it should be the one on your front. Yeah.
No, let's try this guy.
Yeah, because I definitely smell mango.
Oh, I smell mango all day on this one. This is, yeah.
So if you look at kind of like our flight in front of us, we've got a lot of like orange, peach, mango, pineapple. So in summer, like what we want to create is like a tropical cocktail drink. We want something that like it's super hot outside. You want to feel refreshing. So those are the kind of the fruits that we go with it. Towards the winter, we go with like the darker, the stone fruits, the stuff that kind of make you feel good as you kind of warm up.
Yeah.
But the temperature in Southern California is pretty much like this year round.
Yeah.
It's going to get hot in the summer, but in the winter in Texas, I mean, we get in the 30s and 40s. We get all 4 seasons where we live in Texas. So with this is just mango and vanilla ice cream. But one of the cool things is if you're listening or if you've never had our beer before, but we have a QR code on our can. So if you take your phone and scan that, it's a 1-minute video, and it's me describing the beer.
Oh, nice.
So I talk about everything, the adjuncts that we put in it, the style of the beer, about the taste, the smell, the aroma. So what's funny is like my attorney is like our biggest fan. And when you watch the video, I'm repetitive. Like I do the same thing over and over. So I'm like right there on the nose. Yeah. And so he says that I should get a shirt that said right there on the nose. But honestly, like on slushies, like smell it. Like right there on the nose, you get mango and vanilla. Yeah. And you get that vanilla ice cream. And like what's really important is when you're tasting a beer, your nose is going to tell you what you're going to taste. Yeah. However, your taste buds is what's going to tell you, do I like it or not? And this beer right here, to the people that have been drinking craft beer for 20 years, they may look at this and laugh at this style of beer, but one of the things that we talk about as we go throughout our slushies is that we kind of see a trend where the younger, the 21, 22, 23, 24-year-olds aren't into craft beer. It's boring. They're into spirits, cocktails, shots, and weed. So our job is to get them excited about beer.
Right.
And one of the things that we do about our slushies is it excites people. I mean, to take ice cream and mango and give it that smell and that taste. You see where I'm going with it?
Absolutely. I've always said, we've said it on the show before, that the amazing thing about the fruited sours and why we've had it on the show several times from a lot of different breweries is it's kind of a gateway for those folks that don't like craft beer, like you were just saying. And I give a good example always about my wife. She listens to the show. She gets mad when I bring her up. But she was always the one, I hate beer. I don't want beer. Nope, absolutely not. I can't stand the smell of it. And then all of a sudden, she had some heavily fruited sour beers, and she was like, well, I like these. And so now I can actually go to breweries that have them, and she can enjoy something that she likes, and I'll drink everything. I don't care what it is. But I'll drink these too. But yeah, it brought her in. And then now all of a sudden, last time we went to a brewery, she ordered a stout, and I almost about fell out of my chair. I was like, what? And she's like, well, it said it had like coconuts and marshmallows. And I was like, yes. You just ordered a stout? Yeah, so I'm impressed with it, and I appreciate brewers that are able to use their creativity and make stuff like this to bring people in, because having people that weren't into craft beer come into the fold, it's just that much more customers for you, but more people for us to talk to and interact with and stuff like that. So it's cool. I love it.
So we used to sell wine at the brewery, and it was like Moscato. That was the only thing. If you weren't drinking beer, you only wanted Moscato. So we'd keep it around at the brewery for people, because if there's ladies there, there's going to be men there, right? So we want to encourage some ladies and some wine drinkers. Once we started doing the slushies, like, no more wine. Nobody buys any wine anymore. They want the slushies. And it's super fun to see that and to see people's palates just really develop over the years. Like, it's the gateway drug.
Yep. It is. It was for my wife. Now, do you guys do like summertime when it's hot, like do the slushy machine and all that kind of stuff?
So we do, but here's the thing is, like, when you freeze the fruit, it takes away all the flavor from it. So, like, during Slushy Fest, we'll have like 2 slushies on the slushy machine. Yeah. And it's nice because it's like this year it was like 110 during Slushy Fest. So it was like nice and cool. But people are like, they tried it, but they're like, actually, I want the regular version better. I don't want the slushy machine.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, these are good too. I mean, especially you drink them super, super cold. It's almost like drinking a Jamba Juice anyways. You don't need a slushy machine. Yeah,
You
this
get all
one's
your
good, though.
nutrients. It's
all your
great.
vitamins,
That's
everything.
right.
Absolutely. But, hey, you told me to be healthier. I'm having a mango smoothie.
We're like the only Americans that haven't had COVID, so it's probably.
A lot of vitamin C you got
I'm making
rolling
no
in the veins.
health claims. I'm just saying.
Knock on that wood, right?
A lot of vitamins.
Knocking on wood. Knocking on wood.
Yeah, this is cool. This mango vanilla, what I really like about it is it reminds me of a 50-50 bar, but with mango.
Yeah.
Instead of the orange, do mango, and it's good. What do you think, Jimmy?
I like it. I was so resistant to this style of beer for so long.
Until you met me.
I was that until I met this guy, and this guy bathes in this shit. But over the last couple years, I've really opened up my eyes to these kind of style of beers, and this is exactly the kind of style that your guys' beer, fantastic example of what it can be.
Yeah.
I like that. So,
Well, thank you. To go back to it is like it has its place. So like also here that we're drinking is the crispy one.
Yes.
Which is our American lager. So we get made fun of a lot, especially in our hometown, because we brew these crazy beers. This isn't beer. This shouldn't be you shouldn't be able to serve this at your brewery, right? So, last year we brewed 152 different beers.
Yeah.
That's 152 different. So we're known for our slushies, but we brew amazing stouts. Like the first medal that we won at the Great American Beer Festival in 2015 was for our American stout, which was Sasquatch. And it was rated one of the top stouts brewed in America. And we do so many different pastry stouts with it. Yeah. I think last year, Natalie can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did a little over 50 different stouts.
Wow.
And we brew them all throughout the summer. So we do just as many stouts as we do slushies.
Yeah.
But what we do very well, but we don't get credit for it, is our lagers. So we do Cerveza Por Favor, which are Mexican lager, 4%. Like, I love Modelo. I love Dos Equis. Like, I love a good Mexican lager.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is create something like that. And then we brewed a beer called Sherman Bock, which Shinerbach's very popular in Texas.
Yep.
But it's 4.5%. Ours is 7. Sweeter, more malt, not as bitter. And it's a lager. And so what we want to create next is an American lager. So the crispy one. And we got tired of people coming to our tap room and asking for a Coors or a Michelob Ultra.
You've never heard that, right, Jimmy?
oh god, like 10 times a day.
Yeah.
So this is, if somebody asks for that, we give them this, and they're like, I want another one. How do I buy a 24 pack of that? I'm like, well, you can buy a case. It doesn't come in a 24 pack. You can buy 6, a 12, 18, or 24, but. We don't filter our beers, but I know you can't. I know if you're listening, you can't see this, but man, this is just a good, clean, crisp American lager, and I'm very proud of this beer. This is one of the hardest beers to brew because you can't hide any flaws behind it.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of time. These will sit at least 8 weeks.
Yeah,
for
8 weeks
us to get clear. And
Yeah.
fresh.
The lagering process is very time-consuming, and it's also if you're like, man, I just want to drink it. You got to be the patience
That's right,
level. It's like,
yes.
I want to drink it.
So we can turn a slushy grain of glass 4 weeks, a lager grain of glass 8 weeks, and this is like a quarter of the price than a slushy, right? So like it takes longer, there's more work, but we have to sell it for cheaper than we do these.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is an artist. This is our artist, beer. So very proud of it.
Well, you should be. I mean, you're one of the pioneers of the slushy beer in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of you guys that do the slushy beers. We were talking about Baba Brew House earlier. But as soon as you started seeing them pop up, what's one of the first ones I saw come out of Texas. In fact, I told you, one of our listeners of the show, Drake, shout out to Drake, he sent me one of your cans when they were in the 12-ounce cans. And I want to say it might have been a mango flavor. It was green and orange writing. I'll have to see if I can find it on my Instagram. It's been a long time. But I remember, I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. And then when we were down there in Texas, I told you I brought some back for Jimmy because it was Prince themed because Jimmy likes the Prince.
A little bit.
But yeah, you guys
What was that? Berry?
Raspberry Beret.
Raspberry Beret, yes.
That was a good beer.
That was a good beer. That was a great label.
Sing
That
it,
was a
Jimmy.
fun one.
Oh yeah, I think
You might have the can somewhere.
I think the can's still up there somewhere. Yeah,
See if you can find it.
yeah it's up there somewhere.
But, yeah. Or maybe you put the sticker on the cooler.
I might have wore the sticker. I don't know. It might have worked. So,
But yeah, well, we already got one knocked out of the park, and of course I did like the lager. I had that earlier. So what do you want to try next?
Well, you're wearing your Hawaiian shirt, so
Let's
let's
do
do
it.
that. So it's going to be this one right here.
All right, top right.
So in the Hawaiian shirt, it's going to be dragon fruit, pineapple, plum, marshmallow, and vanilla.
Oh, okay. Ooh, you can smell the marshmallow, smell the vanilla. I'm hoping for some plum flavor here because I love plums. In fact, that's another one of your beers that I really liked. It was what the heck's it called? Had a plum on it. What's that one?
I lose track.
I know.
Seriously.
I know. You make so
They
many.
literally did 152
Oh.
beers last
Yeah.
night.
It was
last year.
Plum Stoned.
Was it
Yeah.
Plum Stone?
Plum
It looked like a little stoner plum
Yeah,
on
it was
the
our
can.
420 beer.
There you go. Okay. That was a great beer. I love plum. Plum anything.
So, dragon fruit's one of those fruits that, especially in Texas, people don't know a lot about it. So when we put dragon fruit in a beer, they're like, why? We're like, it's different. So dragon fruit and then pineapple. So like, when we do a slushy, especially like a dark fruit, like we want it to be thick, but then we don't want it to be too thick. So that's why we do dragon fruit and then pineapple. Plum doesn't have a lot of flavor to it,
Yeah.
but it really thickens it up.
Okay.
And then so with that, because like we do so much marshmallow in beer, and marshmallow is just sugar, and it gives that vanilla characteristic to it, and then
Yeah.
vanilla with it, so it kind of balances out like the sourness.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we tell people these are like they come in the tap room, these are heavily fruited sours.
Right.
I don't like sours. It's not the sour you think of like a Jester King
Yeah.
or one that just really like.
Hits you in the back of
Yeah,
the jowls,
the-
and you're like, yeah.
But what's so funny is people drink these and they're like, maybe I do like sours. And so like it's all a part of like educating, maybe like expanding of what you think you like.
Yeah.
But with this one, it's nice and balanced with the dragon fruit, the pineapple, the plum, the marshmallow, and the
Right.
vanilla.
I like it. My first initial thought on this beer is you couldn't have come up with a better name for it. Not just because I like Hawaiian shirts, but it literally tastes like a tiki drink, a Hawaiian drink, a fruit punch. My wife is going to absolutely love that. Yeah, I don't even know if I want her to have it because she's going to want to buy a bunch. But yeah, that's right up her alley. For me too, like any kind of tropical drinks, I've always been a Mai Tai type of guy.
Oh, we've done a Mai Tai.
Yeah,
It was
and-
fabulous.
And that's some good stuff right there. What do you think, Jimmy?
I like it a lot. I like that it's tart still. The marshmallow doesn't take over. You still got that fruit that comes through. I like this one a lot. So
And the dragon fruit gives it such a pretty color.
yeah,
It's really good. I like that. Now, we'll ask some questions about the brewery. So, who comes up with the flavors?
It's kind of a group effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there's five of us that have our production meetings.
Yeah.
And we talk about like what's hot, what's trending, like what's the fresh fruit we can get, what's something that no one else is doing. And at the same time, like that's also difficult because like if somebody like say for example like a Drecker or an Imprint or Baba or Kings is like killing it with something, like how do we do that and then try to make it as good as them?
Right.
And so, there's a lot of people that bring different slushies and different beers to our brewery,
Yeah.
and so we get to try them and think about like how can we do that stuff. At the end of the day, man, when you brew 152 different beers, there's only so many adjuncts and there's only so much fruit.
Yeah.
So like that combination. And so like you just have to go back to being like I'm a fat kid. Like whenever I'm walking into like a Brahms or a Baskin Robbins, like
Yeah.
all those different flavors, like what do I want to take from that and put that into a beer? And that's kind of how we come up with it.
And going on trips like this and going to different bars and seeing like what's on the cocktail list, like that's a fun ingredient
go.
mix we've never done. We can turn that cocktail into a slushie, and it's super fun for us to play with and mess around. And sometimes we get it in the tank and we're like, you know what, it needs more of this, it needs more of that.
Right.
Like we're not going to package it until it's perfect and it tastes like what it says on the can.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets very expensive because then you guys suddenly buy a lot more stuff to get it to taste like
Fruit
that.
is not cheap.
Well, here's
No,
the deal.
sir.
Like we've lost money on slushies before
Yeah.
because it doesn't taste like what we said it would. So we
Right.
had all of our flavors in the packaging tank. And so like it's like when you're cooking, like it needs more salt, it needs more sugar, it needs more butter, it needs more pepper. So we had all the fruit, all the adjuncts into the packaging tank. And when that happens, I mean, we've set a budget before, and we're like, this is where we need to be at. And then we get it, and we're like, it's not fucking good. We've got to make this beer better. And at the end of the day, for us, it's like, yes, rule number one is as a business, like you have to stay profitable. But here's the deal: if you make a shitty product, it doesn't matter.
Right.
No one's going to buy your stuff again. So there's been many times before where we've like, who cares? Like we need more fruit to get it to where it needs to be, or we need more vanilla, we need more ice cream, we need more chocolate, we need more cinnamon. If not, this beer is garbage.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like we're not going to put a beer out that we wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
We're not proud of. And, going into our 10th year, so we're just celebrating 9 in May, so this is our 10th year.
Wow.
Like, we can't make that
Congratulations.
well, thank you. We can't make that excuse like, we're a startup. We're new. We're just learning.
Yep.
Like, that shit's
Not
gone
the new
now.
kid anymore,
Like,
no.
No, like, we're grown-ups.
Right.
And we got to make it right.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing great.
Well, thank you.
I feel like
So
you got
far.
like a level of expectations too. Like you got to put out the good best beer.
You have
That's
to.
right.
Do not put out bullshit because no one's going to drink it.
There's too much good beer out there right now.
There is.
Way
And
too much.
You make one bad beer, and when that person hasn't said this beer is shit, I don't want it.
Yeah.
They're never going to buy your beer again. That's just the way it works.
And
I mean, so
it's a testament to what you've done already, because if you've made it 10 years, obviously for a good reason,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot of breweries, and it's sad. The pandemic really had a lot to do with it that have gone under. But to be able to overcome the pandemic and just continue to climb, I mean, that's amazing, and congratulations.
Well, thank you.
A decade. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We hadn't hit it yet. So
Almost.
You're coming up.
almost there.
Almost.
Almost there.
When is that?
So it'll be in May, of next
May
year.
of
Yeah.
next year.
So we're going on.
Sounds like there might be a party out there.
there's going to be a big-ass party.
Sounds like Beer Dad's
right.
going to Texas
Yeah.
again.
Yes.
Again, to shine my boots and get my hat ready.
You'll be the only one wearing one there, right?
I'll bring my Hawaiian shirt, so at least I'll fit in.
You'll fit in. We can always tell the tourists in Texas because they're wearing cowboy hats and boots.
You know, I noticed that too. See, the last time I was in Texas, I went for a wedding. We were in the Austin area, and I remember my daughter. She was like, you know, where's all the cowboys at? And I was like, well, you gotta actually go out to some ranches out in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is a normal city out here.
Yeah.
So what's funny is, we'll play rodeo once a year. We'll go down to the stockyards in Fort Worth, get our hats and our boots, and feel like a cowboy,
belt buckle.
like a real Texan for a
Yeah.
day. And then we're like, okay, we're back to normal, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
You should make a beer called Texan for a day.
Yeah, Texan
Yeah,
for a day.
that's cute.
Be a great
Yes.
beer. Texan
Or
for a
Texas
day.
tourist.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. I like both of those, Texas tourists and Texan for a day.
We keep a pretty long list of like beer name ideas and stuff, and we'll be like this, like, sampling some beers and chat, and we'll be like, that's a great name, and then we'll put it on the list, and then
Yeah.
like at the production meeting we'll be reading off names. We're like, who do
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Sounded way better when we were like 10 beers in.
Exactly.
It's also that's another thing, coming up with the names. That's always
That's tough.
it's fun, because you got to think about, like you say, how many thousands of combinations have already been done, names have already been used. I love that breweries have gone and done pop culture type stuff, like
yeah.
you guys have, and a lot of breweries have, and that's always fun too. But just coming up with that name is always like, oh man, can I do that name? Is that going to work? Is that going to get somebody to like buy it off a shelf just by the name?
Well, then too, so we'll come up with a name and then we'll get on Untapped, and then another brewery's got that name. We're like, damn it.
Yep.
So, well, what's another name? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I can't think of another one now. I'm stuck on it.
Right.
So, and if another brewery uses our name, I mean, we don't get pissed because we're probably going to steal a name from somebody else, maybe even them, right?
So we just did a peaches and cream beer. We just packaged it like last week, and we named it Peaches and Queen, and it's got Princess Peach on it.
Oh, nice.
And that is such a fun label for us to do.
Mario.
And yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Mario?
Everybody loves
But
Mario.
here's the deal. The
This is true.
day that we released that in the tap room, the Queen of England died. And people were like, how did you turn that beer so fast with that name on it? And I'm like, well, first of
impeccable
all,
timing.
I wish that I was that, cool.
Right.
But
yeah.
no, it's a Mario beer. It has nothing to do with the Queen of England. Right?
Cheers to the Queen Mum
yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
The Queen Mum.
Awesome. All right.
Let's dive into another one of these.
Yeah. So next we're gonna do the peach cobbler, and they're all the same. So you're gonna smell it.
This one.
You'll smell it on the nose. So this one in the peach cobbler, it's got peach, graham cracker, and ice cream. So when I say ice cream, it's a different ice cream because this one we did it before the mango vanilla. So it's a different ice cream flavor.
Peaches.
So you're gonna see it. It's gonna have this type of residual when you do this on it.
Let's see.
It's going to be the sweeter out of the two because the other one is the J. Wakefield collab, which has got peach, mango, and pineapple in it too. So they're going to be a lot of the same colors.
Those are the cobbler.
Yep. So in Texas, I don't know about Southern California, but we have a lot of barbecue joints, and at the dessert at the end of it is peach cobbler and vanilla ice cream.
At every buffet in Texas,
Yes.
too.
Either that or banana pudding.
Yeah.
And
I had some of that in
Did you get the
Texas.
banana pudding one?
I had, well, not the beer, but
Okay.
I had banana pudding while in Texas.
It's life changing.
It's good. Really good.
So we actually did a banana pudding cream out.
Oh, nice.
And
Wait,
people were.
did I have that?
No, we just released it.
No.
And like you can look at the MTAP ratings. Like it's either 5-star, it tastes like banana pudding, or like 2.5. I hate bananas.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Then why did you buy a banana
I know,
pudding
yeah.
beer? I hate on tap.
it's a banana pudding. Like it tastes like banana pudding. But this one's peach cobbler. So
Oh man.
So this is one we've had for a little while. We've had it. I bought a few
Yeah.
cases of this, and it's
Yeah.
been fantastic every single time. This is one of my favorite ones in there.
That's crazy to taste the pie crust.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
So,
And,
so I tell people, like, when you're drinking this, and especially like, think of like eating, peach cobbler. Like you get the peach is going to be very dominant. The crust with like the butter and just like it's going to be kind of like subtle. And then like if you get vanilla ice cream with it, like it's the peach just really overtakes it when you eat peach cobbler. So kind of the same thing with the beer. We wanted to do the same thing with it,
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of like what's on the can is what's inside the can. I love this. I love this one. This one is fantastic. So this is one of my people come in. I recommend this to them every single time.
Well, this is the fat kid in me, right? Like, like the pastry beers that we do, the pastry slushy. Like, I don't.
You're like, I want to put a pie in a beer. Let's do that. Let's go.
Yeah, we actually just did a pumpkin pie slushie.
Oh, my
Like
gosh.
last week. It's fantastic.
Don't tell the wife. Yeah. That's our biggest argument every year because she is I hate to use the word basic, but she is at Starbucks
Oh, here
front
it
and
goes.
center
Yes.
for those
Here.
pumpkin spice lattes. And anything pumpkin, I can't get near it.
You say you hate to use it, but we use it like for the last 4 years. You've been saying
I won't
basic
do it.
and everything. You will. You do all the time.
Okay, I do basic.
All right.
I don't like
you go.
pumpkin, but the wife would love it, and
So
I know
the
there's a lot of
pumpkin
people that
doesn't
like
bring
pumpkin.
as much flavor, but it's like the cinnamon and the cloves and brown sugar. That's where the flavor comes in. It's just so good.
Yeah, I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I just never been able to drink
Pumpkin beers when you were a
beers.
kid?
Yeah, no, eat pumpkin pie. And it's weird because I like sweet potatoes, and that's what my wife yells at me about. She's like, "It's the same thing," and I'm like, "No, it's not. Like sweet potatoes totally taste different than pumpkin. It's a grainy flavor. I don't know what it is. I've just never liked it." And she's tried to sneak stuff on me all the time. She'll bake some cookies. Try this. I'll be like, "It's pumpkin, isn't it?"
It's
No.
orange, I know.
Yeah. As soon as I taste it, I always know it's pumpkin. But yeah, there's a huge market for that for sure. Yeah. You got pumpkin beers yet? Is it that time?
We got
for
a
you?
couple. Yeah, I got a
of
couple.
them?
Yeah.
So speaking of crazy beers, has pickle beers made it out here yet?
Oh fuck.
He's gonna walk away. I brought some Martin House out here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we do a pickle beer. It's different than Martin House. Martin House, those guys are super cool. We love them.
Yeah.
That is very pickle forward. So we do like
Yes.
the same base, like our Berliner base.
Yeah.
We make our own pickle brine, and so like the advantage of that is we don't over pickle it.
Yeah.
But
See, I want to try that.
okay. But then
that
we also do a Bloody Mary pickle beer.
Oh,
I
nice.
love Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
So like it's the perfect beer if you're hungover.
Yeah.
It's got everything in it. We make our own Bloody Mary mix. We make our own pickle brine. So it's got
It's got
everything.
some spice to it, just
Nice.
a little.
But it's
Little
not-
little kicker
Yeah.
to it.
Well, it's not overly spicy, but it's got everything in it that, like, if you're hungover, all of a sudden after one of those, you're like, okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, God, that I said I wasn't drinking again. I really am. But I'm gonna continue this party.
That's awesome. I have to see if I can find some of that because I love the pickle beer from Martin House. I just love pickles. I know that's like a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's smack you in the face pickle. But I'll usually make a michelada out of it. So
Yeah.
those are big out here. Shout out to Muñeca's Michelada Mix, carried
Yeah.
right here at the Craft Lounge. If you guys, before you leave, I
Surprised
highly
not here.
suggest trying to meet you maybe with your lager. It'd probably be really good.
I'll do
one of
that
the,
next.
One of the best michelada mixes I've ever had. But I mixed it with the pickle beer, and I was like, oh my god, it was perfect.
So are you not a pickle fan at all?
No, not
I love
that
pickles.
much.
I love pickles.
Not in a beer form.
but not that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get one for you to try.
I gotta try it.
But where's California? Has anybody done a pickle beer out here at all?
I can't think of anybody.
I don't
who's
think
done
so.
one yet.
Okay, we got
Must be a Texas thing.
No, we
Yeah.
got to bring one to California. I mean, like if we're gonna showcase who we
Yeah.
are, we need to do a pickle beer out here.
All right,
There you
you
go.
send me one. I'll try it out. I'll
do
blast it. But I can't think of one California brewery that's done a pickle beer.
We
Okay,
should
I
do
think
a
you're right.
sweet and spicy
The
pickle
the
beer.
closest that I know of is Devin out Desert Beer. He made the Pepino con chili beer. And
Yeah,
that's more
that's
like
cucumber,
cucumber
though. That's
with
cucumber,
chili.
yeah.
So that's the
I
closest
love
thing
a
I've seen in
cucumber
California.
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice and refreshing beer. Hey, Devin.
All
By
right,
the way, did you hear he's opening a new shop?
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while.
India.
Yeah.
Pizza restaurant,
Yeah,
new
he bought
tap
it.
room. Shout out to Devin Desert Beer
It's a
Company.
beautiful looking spot.
So I want y'all to continue the conversation. I'm a old man. I got to go pee real quick, so I'll be right back.
We got you. We got you.
Since we've been in California, all we've done is drink, and he's made so many. He's seen every bathroom in California, I think. So they're lovely.
He's going to
Thank
have to
God I
start
keep
writing
my,
Yelp reviews on the
I
bathroom.
keep
That's
my
right.
bathrooms nice and clean here. So
Yes, they were very nice.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
good.
That's a selling point here at the
Yes.
Craft Lounge. Great bathrooms, good beer and great bathrooms.
That's right.
In fact, when we first started home brewing, we would have to drive all the way to Haltom City. It was like an hour and a half away to get supplies.
Oh, wow.
And so, of course, by the time we got there, we had to go to the bathroom so bad. And they have the nicest bathrooms. Like, I mean, shout out to Texas Brewing in Haltom City. They've
Wow.
got couches in the ladies' room and like plants on the walls. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice.
you got to know your audience. You know,
right.
the ladies like a good bathroom.
Bathrooms are important.
Hey, cleanliness is next to godliness.
It is.
That's right.
There's actually an app for Disneyland, the best places to use the restroom in Disneyland.
I
Really?
didn't know that.
Oh, this guy would though. Have you seen his license plate?
It
The
might
light-
it might have Disney in it.
His license plate like Disney, love, some weird shit. I don't know.
So, have y'all had our pineapple magic?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
You know,
Had
of course,
to.
it's a Dole Whip.
Had to because it's Disneyland.
Inspiration, right? We are huge Disney fans. We love it. Like we snuck Pineapple Magic into Disney World with our kids.
Got a picture.
And got a picture. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, no, my fam, the beer family, we're all Disney freaks. In fact, we were there this last Wednesday night, just a quick little trip for the night.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it's nice to be local and be able to go. But it's really cool. What I like about Disneyland now with California Adventure is the craft beer scene is taken off there.
Oh, nice.
Before, you could only get your traditional Coors, Miller, Budweiser, whatever it was that they had. And now, like, man, they had Crowns and Hops, Bottle Logic, Green Cheek, Brewery X. I was
Okay.
like, this is awesome. Like, there's so many amazing craft breweries available at Disney. It's
So we
cool.
go. We've done Disneyland once, but we usually go to Disney World, which means
Yeah.
we do Epcot and we drink around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a beer in every single country, and it's a challenge. I've never finished, but Jeremy's finished, and he's got the T-shirt, with
Yeah.
all the countries marked off.
Got all the countries checked off.
That's
That's
right.
perfect.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, if you guys ever come back to California, I'd be more than happy to take you guys to Disneyland. We
I'll
have passes.
totally take you up on that.
Yeah, we're huge Disney fan. Like you said, my license plate. It actually says Disney 4, but then there's a whoops on top of that because it should say Disney 5 because we got that plate and then we had Irish twins because my daughter came just 13 months later.
Oh wow.
And then the pandemic happened and the DMV stopped making plates. You couldn't order custom plates anymore. So it still says Disney 4, but it really should say Disney 5. So I told my wife I was going to get a custom, license plate frame that says
Disney weirdos.
yeah. It'll say +1. Whoops. So yeah.
I bet there's a lot of those after COVID.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do, right?
Right. I think that's how it happened.
Watch
actually.
TV. Well, hey, watch TV, play Xbox, and
Yeah.
Have
Well,
kids?
they did say there was going to be a big baby boom during the pandemic.
There was.
That or divorces, one of the two.
I think there was both.
Yeah, right. So, but back to this beer, the cobbler beer, man. Great job. That's cool. A very unique beer. A lot of people with the fruited sours, you're mostly getting the fruits, but this one incorporates more to that because you have, like I said, I could taste pie crust in it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean the graham cracker, of course. I mean lactose, so like that milk sugar, and then so we changed up the ice cream flavor right after this one.
Okay.
So when you had the mango vanilla ice cream, I want to redo that one with the new one. And I mean, I think it's going to pop even more. So I'm excited about redoing
What
it.
kind of vanilla was it?
So we use like Madagascar vanilla,
Okay.
and which is very expensive, but it gives it that
Yeah.
that vanilla flavor, like when you're eating or you're cooking, or like that you want to bring out,
Right.
not just on your taste buds, but like also on the aroma.
Yeah.
So like if it's not there on the smell, sometimes your taste buds won't tell you what you're tasting. And what's really weird is during COVID, when everybody lost their smell and taste, like we're trying to explain to them, they're like, I don't smell that. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You know how much I put into that? Then I'm like, oh, COVID changed everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
did.
so, I mean, I still, like, I have one of my buyers at one of our big accounts in Dallas that still can't smell or taste anything.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I'm sitting there trying to explain it. He's like, man, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, Jeremy, I can't smell or taste. So it's like COVID was weird, you know, what it did to people.
Yeah.
But on that one, like, I mean, as far as like the taste of the graham cracker crust, the smell, the aroma, you're going to get it from it.
I like it. Is that one of your favorites?
I do actually really like this one, yeah. And I love peach, but peach is, for us, is super hard to work with
Yeah.
because it is so thick. It's so thick, and so if you get these too thick, they don't pour quite right. They're hard on your kegs. So peach is kind of an art form for us.
Yeah, and we try not to. I mean, we get accounts that want draft of the slushies. So when we package them, we immediately turn them upside down. We ship them upside down. We tell our distributor to make sure they keep them upside down. And when we go to the account, flip them over.
Yeah.
Because what happens is like a snow globe. So like as you're looking at this glass right here, I haven't finished it. But you see all that sediment on it. So think
Right.
what it does inside of a keg. And that sphere goes all the way down, so it just pulls it all the way up, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we love about cans. And on the cans, if you've never had one of our slushies, we actually have directions like don't shake it, turn it upside down, open it slowly.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's going to go everywhere. And then, but you know, one of the things that we're proud of about our slushies is they're a warm shelf stable. So if you buy one and you ship it, you know, knock on wood, you know, they're not going to explode.
Right.
And so, you know, that's been a big challenge for us, and especially like through Tavor, and then as we've grown outside of Texas and we've shipped beer to California,
Yeah.
Colorado, and then, you know, North Carolina and Florida, we want to make sure our beer is capable to go across the country. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was during the time when heavily fruited sours really took off, and you started seeing them getting shipped all over the place. It was kind of like the joke in the beer community of them blowing up and stuff like that.
A real porch bomb, right?
Right, exactly. Actually,
That's
had
what
one.
nightmares are made of.
I had one. I did a video the other night, and I had a beer blow up on me, but that was not their fault. It was a 3-year-old beer that had been in the back of my fridge, and I opened it just because it was a firefighter beer, and I was shouting out because we had a bad fire by our house, evacuations and stuff, and it was a cherry sour or something like that. And I pulled it out of the fridge, and my fridge is ice cold, and it was about 100 degrees, and that was the last beer that I drank, and it sat there, and then all of a sudden, while I was talking in this live video, I heard this boom, and I looked at the top of the can, and it just bulged, and I was like, oh shit, I left it out too long. And I was like, all right, take a chance, opened it, and sure enough, it just blew up all over the damn place. But
Little volcanoes.
yeah. And I knew it, but it's all good. And that brewery's good. It's not their fault. It's 3-year-old beer.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Absolutely. So, well, that was a good one. I really enjoyed the cobbler. And you said here in Beaumont that people love the cobbler.
They do. That's one of the best-selling ones that we have in the cooler right now. So.
Do y'all eat cobbler in California? Is peach cobbler a thing?
Of course.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
We do have some soul food places there that have some cobblers. So.
I appreciate a cherry cobbler too. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, you
I've
enjoy
ever had
any
cherry
kind of
cobbler
cobbler, dude.
before.
I met somebody today in Cali who's never heard of gravy, like white gravy.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're not from California, then.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's from.
We love our biscuits and gravy.
They might not be from
As you
America.
can see, I
Yeah.
like my biscuits and gravy.
We were at a Mexican restaurant, but we love Mexican food. So like we were talking about gravy, and they're like, "What? It's white?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not brown gravy, white gravy.
White gravy.
With some sausage in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Extra
Right.
sausage.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, that's funny. Our first morning in Texas last year, we went to a breakfast spot that was probably about maybe 2-3 blocks from Urban South HTX. Really cool, hip little place. It was like public breakfast or something like that. And I had biscuits and gravy. I had to. I'm like, I'm in Texas. You can't not have biscuits and gravy in Texas. And it was amazing.
So I don't know if you've seen on Sundays in the tap room, we do brunch. And so we do these big, massive biscuits.
I've seen them.
Sausage,
Jealous.
Bacon,
Yes.
pulled pork, brisket, and then we put it on top, and then we
You want to
pour
go to
the
Texas, Jim?
like the gravy over it. But we only do it on Sundays. It's the only day we do it. So the story of our food is we used to have food trucks,
Yeah.
and then about a year before COVID hit, my dad had a little restaurant downtown Sherman, and he did just grilled cheese sandwiches. And our food trucks would sell out in an hour. People would show up and like, we came to eat, drink beer.
Yeah.
Food's gone. They would leave. And I mean, I'm a business person. I'm like, man, I'm losing money by not having food trucks. Food trucks are very hard to get. I get it. It's a small space to store a small amount of food. So we convinced my dad to say, hey, move here. Let's join forces on the food, and let's grow. And what's amazing is when people come up and they come for our beer, but they leave and like, your food is amazing. I don't know if I'd get pissed about it because, like, you know, they don't say, "Hey, your beer is amazing," but we do. Like, if you're ever in Sherman or you're in Texas, make the trip up, see us. Our food is so good.
Yeah.
My dad does a good job. Our team does a good job on our food. We take a lot of pride in it, just as much as we do our beer.
His dad's always experimenting with stuff, and he'll like walk around the tap room with like whatever crazy thing he's come up with. He's like, you guys have to try this. Like, he'll come into the office and he's like, try this cacio pepe pizza, and it's always so good. It's fun.
Like, is Nashville hot chicken sandwiches popular out here?
They're starting to.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do
Dave's Hot Chicken's a new like chain popping up everywhere.
So we do a killer Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Like, it's amazing. Like, the sauce they use on it's amazing. So my dad took a 1 pound hamburger and he puts it like the Nashville hot sauce on the burger. And then he takes 2 boneless wings and he tops it with the Nashville hot.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, ain't nobody gonna order that. It's our number 1 selling item. Like, it's killing. Like, nobody eats
Why
it.
wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
I want that right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, I get
You should have brought some with you.
Well, I get mad because people get full on food. They can't drink my beer. Like,
Right.
everybody's like, I'm so miserable. but then we're like, take beer home. Like, I mean, it's like we have such a good team back at the brewery. I mean, we have 43 employees, and you know, half of those are production, and the other half's the kitchen. And I'm really proud to say, during COVID, we never laid one employee off.
That's awesome.
Matter of fact, we increased employees.
Wow.
And you know, even though we were shut down, we lost, like, not just as a restaurant, but like as a draft account, we lost 40% of our business overnight.
Wow.
And you
It
know,
was super scary for us.
and not
I'll bet.
the government funding didn't help us. It was like people like rallying and support us.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is like, because of people are buying beer on Tavour, and then now that we're in California, like, everyone talks about, like, you know, how much they love our beer, the beers that we did. Like, I was talking to a gentleman earlier, and he loved our Lucky Charms beer. And, you know, it was really cool to hear that, like, how he had it during COVID.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about brewing it again, and now I want to rebrew it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just neat to see, like, what all has come out outside of COVID with it.
Absolutely. Like I said before, just getting out of it and growing, and that's an amazing story to be able to maintain all of your employees during the pandemic. I'm sure they were very appreciative of it, and taking care of your employees and that kind of stuff, that goes a long ways, and I'm sure you probably get good results out of your employees because you took care of them during the pandemic, so that's cool. Congrats on that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't us. It was like people supporting us. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we got so much support during it, and I think everybody did. You know, like, people rallied around people they loved and cared about. But it's you know, we still got a long road ahead. I mean, like, I think we're just now feeling the effects of the tough, like, with the inflation and you know, of rising gas prices. But at the end of the day, like, man, if people didn't support us like yourself and love our beer, we wouldn't be getting to do what we do today. So we thank y'all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Jimmy, you went through the same stuff with COVID, right?
Oh, COVID. We were
Yeah.
only open a year. Actually, the day of our 1 year anniversary, we got shut down. The
Oh, wow.
very day.
So how long were y'all shut down for?
Fuck.
Felt like forever.
It felt like 20 years. It was probably about a good 10 months, I think, we shut down. But because we have a dual license, we have beer to go also. So that got us through. So
Awesome.
we turned around. We had a online store up and running in 3 days. And
Wow, good for you.
yeah, and so we had
And that's when we started doing podcasts.
Yeah, we were doing podcasts in here when this was like
Empty.
basically this was like a storage unit after a while.
We would be in here doing podcasts and like, hey, come buy some beer.
But
to
we
go.
were 6 feet apart. We were 6 feet apart.
Right.
Yeah, we weren't breathing on each other. And
With your mask on.
we had our mask on.
You couldn't hear us. The
We
podcast
we
was
followed all the
muffled.
protocols. I think Justin was in that corner and I was over in this corner. And so we were. But yeah, no, we turned it around. And we had like tents put up outside for people to pick up, and it worked out. So it got us through. Our locals came through and they kept us open. So that really meant a lot to us. So.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I remember like when it first started opening up, and there was actual people in here. That was really cool to be.
Wasn't
in
that a
here
neat feeling?
and see actual real people.
Yeah.
Instead of just the like pick up to go.
Oh, dude, remember how it looked in here? We even had a drum set in here because we would play
Brandon
drums.
plays the drum. Playing drums.
Yeah, so it was just like we jam out of here, bring people guitars. And
Watching
jam out.
Japanese like anime at
Oh
night.
yeah, dude, that was the best part because we watched like the Three Stooges, the Thunderbirds, that like those puppets, those marionette little things and shit. It was cool to watch that as we filled orders and stuff, and people would come around. So, but the whole time we were 6 feet apart. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
What's
that
mask?
saved us all. 6 feet saved us all.
All right.
That's another beer. That's another beer.
That's a good
6
beer
feet
name,
saved us
actually.
all.
Six feet to save us all.
I like it.
Remember that one.
I'm going to put that on my list.
All right, put on this.
We'll put you on the can, Jimmy, if
Thanks,
we do that
man.
one.
I'll be like 6
He
feet.
looks good on a can. He's been on a can already. It's up
I
there
have.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Did a collab with Aero Lodge. Great
Yeah.
brewery. Have you ever had Aero Lodge brewing?
Where they at?
Covina.
Covina, yeah.
They're actually, you guys went to Lucy's spot. They're probably like maybe 6 minutes away from Lucy's spot.
Oh, they were talking about them today, actually. Yeah.
No,
Great
we have a really
brewery.
good, we got a really good relationship with them. And we actually did a beer together last year for our anniversary. It was our 3-year first anniversary, if that makes any sense, because we didn't have any anniversaries because of COVID. so-
Double anniversary.
But it was fantastic, though. We had a great beer. We went through a fucking shit ton of beer that night. But,
What's the name of the Iron Man beer? That's one of my favorite hazies.
Ghostface Killer.
Ghost
Haze Killer.
Ghost Haze Killer. Hazy IPA, one of the best in Southern California. Yeah. That's Aero Lodge.
Aero Lodge.
Yeah.
So when is the anniversary?
We do it in March. We do it in March. So usually the second week of March. Well, usually. I say usually, but we only had one because of COVID. But, and it was, you were here for that, right? It was insane. It was insane.
Yeah, we did a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember that. I was pretty fucking.
You were.
I was jacked up.
You were on the podcast for, I think, 2-3 minutes, and then we had beer.
That's right.
We had
I got
Beer Thug.
in
We had
and I
Beer
talked
Thug
shit
Life.
to you. Yeah, I talked shit to you and I left.
Yep. And then you left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer Thug Life was here, and Daniel from Hip Hop Craft was here. Yeah.
That wasn't my anniversary, dude. That was the trifecta.
No, that was your anniversary.
That wasn't a trifecta. No, it was a trifecta.
See, I get them all together because there's so many.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Positive.
But I was here for your anniversary. I'm here for all the events. He's gonna photobomb. Yeah, there you go.
So, I know hazy IPAs are popular here.
Yes.
But do you see West Coast IPAs coming back?
They've always been here. So the hazy thing popped up here, and it got really popular, and people love them. But it's kind of almost like a two-way street. There's still your traditional Southern California beer drinkers that love a nice, crisp West Coast IPA, and they still do really well. Like Green Cheek still kills it with it. Aero Lodge makes some amazing, like their double IPAs are on point.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're big out here. So
Yeah.
you might try a West Coast IPA.
So we did because we're tired of the hazies.
Yeah.
So we just did one called Bringing West Coast Back.
Ooh.
And so it was a 9.5%? So it was
I think that's
Double.
right.
Yeah.
yeah, and then because of the sweetness of the residual sugar, which brought it to a 9.5%, and then the bitterness from the hops, it was the perfect balance.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is we're not known for IPAs,
Right.
And to see that that on Untapped is almost a 4-star rating. It excites us because we're thinking more people want bigger IPAs. They want the that West Coast IPA coming back. And I mean, obviously we're on the West Coast. So this is the home of it. If you go to the East Coast, they want the
Hazy.
the hazy.
The New
Yeah, when you go
England
back there,
style.
they don't even call it that. It's just you order an IPA
Yeah.
and you get a hazy IPA.
Yeah, it's like New England style.
So we've been trying to come up with how do we come up with a Texas IPA, and what would that be? And then we thought about taking a Pilsner and making an IPA, but now there's a cold IPA. I don't know if that's a big thing out here yet.
It's taken off.
But at the end of the day, West Coast IPAs are always going to be there. They're going to be a staple.
Yeah.
And it's neat seeing, because the first thing I said to you when I came in, like, are you drinking the crispy one? You're like, no, I need an IPA, right?
Yeah.
But
I had to get hopped up.
But I love that. I love hearing that because, like, at the end of the day, like, everything's full circle. So, like, everything comes back. So I think, like, the trend coming back that we're going to see, I think IPAs, like a true good, like West Coast IPA, like, I think that's where we're going. I think you're going to see more lagers, pilsners, and the West Coast IPA, and we're excited about that.
Yeah.
I mean, as a brewery that brews slushies and pastry stouts, we're excited about that.
We like a lot of variety ourselves.
Yeah.
So we brew so many different styles, and not all of them make them to each region, to each state. But if you come to the brewery, man, we've got tons of different styles.
You do have a lot in your wheelhouse, and I will right now shout out your stouts because I really like your, is it Sasquatch stout or something like that?
Yes,
Sasquatch, yeah.
That was like, oh man, that was a good one.
That's my baby right there, Sasquatch.
You like that?
That's our first child, right?
Yes.
That's our first child. We got a 6 and 3-year-old. Sasquatch is our 9. He turns 9 next month, so he's our
There you go.
he's our oldest.
Okay. Yeah, that one for me was one of my favorites. There was a peanut butter ale, cream ale or something.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that. Had like a Captain Crunch guy
Yeah.
on there. Yeah, that was good stuff too. So you do have, not just the fruited sours like 903. Check them out. A lot of different variety of beer.
We do some crazy stuff.
I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we got another beer to drink here. So this was the one you were saving. This is a collab beer.
Yeah, this is a collab with our friends from J. Wakefield out of Florida. So this one's got peach, mango, pineapple, and coconut. So basically,
Nice.
like this one, like especially in the summer, like we want that tiki cocktail theme beer, right? We want that.
Yeah.
So this one, we put it's mango pineapple. The reason why we put peach in it is like to thicken it up. I mean, it's gonna be pretty similar than like some of the other ones. We're doing a photo.
Yeah, we got a photo op. All right.
I like how we take photos. We smile, you know.
Yeah.
Like what was funny was like talking about COVID. Like how many photos did we take with a mask on? We're
Right?
smiling.
Nobody knew.
Why? You do whatever you want behind there. Stick your tongue out. No one even knows the difference.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but like back home, we were like, oh, here, we'll get a photo. Everybody put their mask on. We're gonna take a photo real quick, right?
Yeah.
But no, like back to this one. So J. Wakefield, they're big into Star Wars, so there's always bigger fruit. Now,
I was actually going to say, because I saw the can, I saw the writing on the side. I'm like, a little Star Wars play for Jay Wakefield. I like that.
You know, they love that. So that like J. Wakefield, whenever we were talking to them and doing the collab, unfortunately, because it was like during COVID, a lot of people haven't gotten back together for collabs yet. So a lot of it's virtual,
Right.
which you actually get more done virtual because
you just drink when it's in person, right?
Yeah, it gets pretty bad. So they don't do a lot of heavily fruited sours.
Yeah.
And so for us, like talking to them about it, so that like they brewed their version and ours. And when it came to California, like everybody talked about that, like the flavors are on point from theirs and ours, but ours was so much thicker.
Yeah.
But whenever we brew our slushies, I mean, it's a 10% beer. We had 40% fruit to it.
Yeah.
So that brings it down to a 6% Berliner.
Nice.
But like you get that like that nice, thick slushy. And that's what we're going for. So like, I mean, think about this. This is a cocktail in a glass. It's what it is. Peach, mango, pineapple, and coconut.
That actually might be another one the wife's going to like.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Jimmy?
No, it reminds me of like Malibu rum almost.
Yeah.
Oh, get that Malibu.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's my wife's favorite liquor.
So if you really
She
want
can
to
add a little to that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next. Like,
a
if you want to
little
up your game, like, just add rum, vodka, or tequila to these.
Oh, Jesus.
Like,
On Sundays, I do champagne.
It's going to be a fun night tonight, Jimmy.
It's good.
There you go. A little,
night is
little beer
still
mosa.
young.
Yeah,
I like that.
exactly.
Yeah. That'd be a good beer
No, this
mosa
one's
for sure.
fantastic. This one's really good.
That's awesome. And talking about Jay Wakefield, we actually had a Jay Wakefield beer on our 3-year anniversary, and Brandon and I, as well as his girlfriend Jazz over here, she just came in. We went to Miami for Irie Jungle, and we went to Jay Wakefield while we were out there. And that, being a Star Wars geek, amazing brewery. Like you
Super
walk in,
geek.
you're just like, oh my god.
so
He's a super Star Wars geek too
Did you-
himself.
did
He might
you-
not look like it, but
did you get Java the Hutt Stout that we did?
No.
Did you get that one?
No.
So they've got it in, is it Luis's Liquor?
okay.
Is that right? Did I say it
Louis.
right?
Louis.
Louis.
Yeah.
Louis
Yeah.
Liquor. They've got like 4 cans of it left.
Yeah.
So every year for May the 4th be with you, we release Java the Hutt Stout.
Nice.
And so like it's one of my favorite stouts
It's a
that we
rye
do.
coffee stout.
Yeah, it's a rye coffee stout.
So good.
Like it's
Wow.
I like that.
we need to see, we need to have her bring you one.
There you go.
I'll text her right now.
Yeah.
Lucy.
Yeah, where's my
Save me
Star
one
Wars
of
beer?
those, Lucy.
You get. He's actually, if you look, he's up there, isn't he?
Who?
Darth. Is he up there?
Darth Vader's up there, yeah.
Yeah, up on the tap handles. If you look closely, you'll see Darth Vader up there.
He always watches over that shit.
Yeah, he's been on the show a couple times actually too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jay Wakefield's cool. We were telling Jimmy that there's like literally inside the brewery there is a Han Solo and Carbonite table. I'm like, that is awesome.
Oh, wow.
It's such a cool brewery.
So what's funny was we were actually so we take 2 trips a year. We take one with just our kids, and then on a trip, and then one her and I go for her birthday, which is mid-April.
Yeah.
And so whenever we were doing the Jay Wakefield collab, we were coming up with what we were going to do. We were in Mexico, and so I was talking to him on the phone. They're like, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm drinking this drink right now, and it's got like mango, pineapple, and coconut."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm down, man. Let's do it." And then I was like, "But I'm going to add some peach to it to give it some body." He's like, "Peach? The fuck you gonna put peach in a cocktail for?" And I'm like, "Well, it's going to thicken it up."
Right.
I didn't realize that Jay Wakefield doesn't do a lot of thick slushies.
Yeah.
And so for us, that's what we were going for. But I mean, that's kind of how we came up with this when I was sitting on the beach in Mexico, and I was talking to him on the phone about a collab.
That's
and
awesome.
That was what was in my drink was, that pineapple, that coconut, that mango. So the peach really kind of peach doesn't lend a lot of flavor to it,
No,
but it gives
mostly
it body.
body.
Yeah, body.
That's really cool. Being on a beach in Mexico, coming up
Yeah,
with a collab.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
dope,
I'm like-
dude. That's so cool.
It's a hard job.
Yeah, someone's got to do it, though,
Another
right?
beer in Mexico.
Someone has to do it.
Oh man, that's a great story right there. That's really cool. I like this beer. Now it's like, okay, which one am I going to pick out of the 4 that I had that I like the best? Because each one had its own individual like home run for me. Like the mango one was good because it tastes like a 50-50 bar. The Hawaiian shirt one was good because it made me think I was drinking a Hawaiian drink. It was really cool. And the cobbler was stupid. Like, I mean, it tastes like I was eating a pie. And then this one is just tropical as hell, man. This is great. Did great on all 4 of these.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's doing well right now. I see a lot of people in the tap room
There's
with
trays everywhere with these things.
trays of flights. 903 Tap Takeover. I love it.
And we got
I love
everybody
it.
outside listening to the band, and everybody has trays out there. When I was out there earlier, there's trays everywhere. So
Or actually something I like to do sometimes if I can get him because he's usually nervous. But Alex, I want Alex to come over here and I want to ask him what he thinks about these beers real quick.
all right,
Hey,
I got to hit the head. So maybe I'll give him my.
There you go.
Here goes.
So, Alex, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Long time no see.
I know, it's been a while.
So, Alex, also known as HopsCon Alex. There he is.
Hi.
Alex, this is 903 Brewing right here.
Jeremy and Natalie.
Nice to meet you.
Good
Yeah,
to meet you.
too.
So, I just wanted, because you were sitting over there, and I know you get a little nervous, but here you are.
But here I am. You know
You got
what?
liquid courage now.
Yeah, a little bit. I had
Yeah.
a couple in me already, so
So I just wanted to bring you over because, kind of like a third party here, and tell us what you think about the 903 beers that you've had so far.
I'm actually sitting across the way over here. I was trying the lager. First off, I got the lager on tap. Excellent. I was like, you know what? I need a lager. I need something nice and light to start off the night. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the lager. So we went with the flight, and right now we're trying the. I didn't get a full rundown on the beers, but we kind of looked at it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
And all the, I think our favorite one was the mango pineapple. The mango pineapple. Yeah.
There you go.
Mango pineapple beer. Oh man, that was top notch. It was not too sweet, but it was actually really good. And then correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was like a fruit punch.
Yep, so that's the
There you go.
Hawaiian
Yeah,
shirt
Hawaiian.
right
Hawaiian
there.
punch. Okay,
You
a
can
punch.
take a look
Yeah,
at that
see, there
one.
you go. The Hawaiian punch. That
So that's
shirt slushy.
dragon fruit, plum, and I
okay.
believe pineapple and marshmallow in that
Gotcha.
one.
That marshmallow. I mean everything about
Good,
it.
huh?
Yeah, no, they're all really good.
Did you try the mango vanilla ice cream?
Yeah. Oh man.
Did you taste that vanilla ice cream?
The vanilla on that, like from the nose, you can smell it. You can. We were drinking it. It was popping. All that flavor was popping. It was really good. So it was they're all tasty. So we really enjoyed those over here. And then, like I said, I can kind of cut through all that with this lager. It's really nice.
The crispy one.
The
yes.
crispy one.
I like that. That's a good name too.
Yeah.
The crispy one.
Yeah.
So we call them Crispies, right? Is the crispy one? Is that the Schiff beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
So we brew a beer called The Chosen One, which was a coconut cream ale, which is our first beer. Because like I'm the oldest, so I wanted to name it Golden Child. But the TABC didn't like the word child in a beer.
Yeah.
So we called it The Chosen One. I'm the chosen one of my family, right? Which is not true, being the oldest.
Right.
So
Your youngest brother is not going to like that statement.
So when we wanted a crispy beer, we kind of played on The Chosen One, the crispy one. So, like you think about it, like we love stouts, we love slushies, but like at the end of the day, you're like, I want a crispy beer. I'll take the crispy one, and that's kind of how we came up with the name. And
I like that.
I feel like it's a good name.
Yeah, it is. Like, I mean, there's a lot of breweries coming out with like Crispy Boy.
Yeah.
I saw like a Rice Krispie one at one point.
Rice Krispie.
But yeah, I like that. That's a good name, and the branding's on point too, especially for Texas.
Yeah.
Or maybe Colorado.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely awesome. So I'm glad you got to get out here and try it.
I know, it was kind of spontaneous. We said, you know what, we need a date night. We see Craft Lounge is doing a
Perfect.
some new beers. I was like, you know what, we're gonna check it out. So I had texted you earlier. I was like, are you gonna be at the lounge? And you said yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, we gotta,
And now he put you on
go.
the podcast.
Yeah. Now we're on the podcast again.
He probably figured it would happen.
I kind of make an appearance every so often.
He was actually on our second episode ever, which was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
insane.
So what beers did you drink on that one? You remember?
We brought a bunch of homebrewer beers. Project 5, a shout out to them. They moved out of state. I think North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
South Carolina.
Yeah. South Carolina. So they were doing a lot of Berliner Weiss. We had a sour and a couple other ones that Joshua, rest in peace, we love Joshua.
Yes.
That's Kunkel himself. But we had, I can't remember the other ones we had. I think he made
I want to say like maybe Belching Beaver or something like that.
Belching Beaver. I think he made a stout. Was that when we tried his?
We might have had one of his stouts.
It might be a stout that he made.
His sloth nuts.
Yeah,
probably.
something like that. But it was a good little fun episode. We kind of just gathered. He threw the idea out there. I said, you know what? I have a couple beers, and I actually have one of those sours. It's a peach sour from episode 2. So I got to bring that on.
Yeah.
one of these days. So
that'd be great. Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's funny. So how Alex and I met was we started following each other. And at the time I was like, yeah, I'm starting this podcast up and blah blah blah. And like, let's get together and have a beer share and come about it. And then come to find out we were literally neighbors.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
We lived right around the corner from me. It was crazy.
It was like where do you live? And then my GPS just shot me around the corner.
Is that kind of dangerous?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. At the time I was like, okay, now we got all these beers we need to share. So it was pretty fun. It was a good experience. We were like, well, dude, we're neighbors, and we just kind of started kicking it off from there. So
yeah, I think our first beer share is when I came back from Minnesota and I brought all that beer from Dangerous Man Brewing.
Yes.
You guys ever had that?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great brewery.
I had brought an Aero Lodge stout, Shout out to Aero Lodge.
Yep.
And episode 2 was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I just make some random appearances. We're just here. He's here, so he brings me on. So I appreciate it. It's always fun.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you got to come out for 903 Tap Takeover and try all these beers.
Top notch. It was really good. It was really fun meeting you guys. Yeah, no,
I'm sure Mrs. Vidargus over there enjoyed them too.
Yeah,
these are right up her alley. Yeah.
She's on her phone. She's not listening right now.
Does she ever get to come on?
She hasn't come on. Maybe.
I think let's bring her over here. Let's see what she thinks.
Okay, now we're gonna bring her
We'll
on.
get a female perspective
We're
on
gonna
these
bring her
beers.
on. Oh yeah, that's good.
It's always good to hear. Yeah. So we'll put the headset on so she can hear us. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
The better half of the Vidargus family. I'm just kidding. I love you, Alex. So this is the 903 Brewing here, and
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
they're curious. What do you think of the beers?
I loved them. So the one for sure that I really, really loved was the mango one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love mango. That was my favorite. But,
Mango's huge here in SoCal.
yes. Very refreshing. But they were all really good, delicious. Yeah. I'm about to send him to go get another one. Get me another flight because I'm ready.
Yeah. Do it.
Yep.
That's
Do
always
it.
been our thing. Like, we don't want to just make a beer. We want to make a beer that you're going to want to drink again.
Right.
And sometimes that's tough, because there's so much variety anymore. But if you don't want it again, is it really that good? So that's awesome. You
Right.
found one that you're going back for.
No, absolutely, yeah. There was the first one. Our beers got mixed up when we first ordered them. He was like, "I'm pretty sure this is the one that I ordered," and I was like, "Well, I like it either way." So, but the mango one definitely. They were all delicious, super good. But like I said, I'm gonna send him to go get another one because that was really good.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Speaking of Muñecas Micheladas, this is the owners of Muñecas that just walked in. So we need to. I'm gonna tell her. Come here, Hugo. Can you do me a favor? Can you get a OG Muñecas with their 903 lager? Yeah, please. I want them to try it. 2 or 3. I'll have one too.
Well, tell them
Yeah.
we've got a tab open,
Yeah.
so tell them put on the 903.
And with the actually with the mango one, that's what I told him. I was like, you know what would be really good with like I didn't think of the michelada, but I thought
Right.
about the tajin rim on that one.
Oh, yeah.
So we
I was like,
did.
that would be so
we
good.
did a mango tahini sour, but it wasn't thick like the slushy. But like we did the mango and the tahini in it. What was funny was like when people poured in there, they're like, "What's all this red stuff floating in my can?" I'm like, "It's tahini."
Tahini.
Like read the label.
Right.
Like,
That's like hundreds of pounds of tahini. It was
Right.
Oh, wow.
so
but it gave it
good.
like that, like you got the sour, the sweetness, and that
Exactly.
little bit of
Little
spice.
kick.
Exactly.
Little bit of spice.
No,
yeah.
that's like the first thing that
Yeah.
popped in my head when I started drinking it because he was like, well, I know you enjoyed that one the most. He's like, so you
Yeah.
can have it. I was like, oh, thank you. But I was like, you know what would be so good with this? Like a tajin rim with it. And he was like, oh, yeah. Like, I
On your
like
next
it.
flight, tell Nico.
I'll tell
rim
Nico,
it.
for
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely.
Get some of the Muñecas chamoy with the tahini.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Will do. It was
Absolutely.
nice to meet you both.
Yeah.
you
Yes,
too.
Yeah,
thanks
it's
for
good.
joining
It was
us.
good to
Of
meet you.
course.
I'm glad you guys were able to try it.
Yes. Thank you.
It was good to see you guys too.
Yeah, that too as well.
Awesome. So, well, that's good to hear from the locals, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Always
So
good
far,
to
you
hear.
guys are doing 2 for 2.
So we've we've heard it all.
Yeah.
So like whenever we get a compliment or people are excited about our beer, it makes us feel very good.
Very good. That's awesome. And I don't like Untapped, and it's really cool sometimes when you see the good stuff on Untapped. But like you said earlier, with I gave it a 2 because I don't like banana. That's what I hate about Untapped.
So I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I see a 5, I just keep scrolling. Like I'm looking
Right.
for the negative review because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like the person gives a good review, they're already happy.
Yeah.
There's a reason someone's upset.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do they not like me? Do they not
Yeah.
like our brand? Do they not like that we make a certain style? Like,
Right.
what is it? So I'm really bad because like if you listen to Joe Rogan or anybody that like who has a podcast, they're like, don't read any of the reviews.
Yeah.
Just be you, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I want to find a beer. Again, I brewed 152 different beers last year. I want to find a beer that someone loves.
Yeah.
I want them to love us. And again, man, we'll release a beer, and I'm like, man, it meets the quality control to leave our brewery,
Right.
but it's not for me. And then I'm like, this beer's not going to sell. It's not going to sell, and it's the home run.
Yeah.
And then there's been a beer before. I'm like, oh my God, this is the beer that's going to make us famous. Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
So like you don't know until you get it out there. But like I read every review, good or bad, but like more the bad.
I remember, I don't know if this shifted your guys' gears in terms of like your canning or whatever, but I remember, so from the locals in Texas that listened to the show, or the Drake when he sent it to they loved your beers, but they wanted bigger cans. Was that something that was mentioned on Untapped? Or?
Well, so yes and no. So like in Texas, like 12-ounce cans that's what we did.
Right.
Nobody wanted a 16.
Yeah.
And then so like when Tavor picked us up, people were like, we want 16-ounce cans.
Yeah.
And then we call them the mules that would come up and pick the beers up and then sell them to the world. They were like, hey man, our
do
customers
16.
are saying they're 16s. So we went to 16s. Then what happened was when gas went up from $2 a gallon to $6-7 a gallon, we had 2 choices. We could either cut the quality of our product
Yeah.
to make it affordable where people could buy our beer,
Right.
or cut the quantity.
Yeah.
And so for us, like what people don't understand is we never have raised our prices of beer because then at the end of the day we're consumers.
Yeah.
And so we understand people are paying more for food, more electricity, more for gas. So like how do people still drink our beer? So we switched to the 12-ounce skinnies. And at first, we got a lot of pushback from it because
Yeah.
people felt like, but our prices were cheaper. Like like when we were visiting accounts in California, there were $3, $4, and $5 cheaper a can in a 12 skinnies,
Yeah.
and our 16s are on the shelf. So at the end of the day, we didn't cut the quality of our beer, but we cut the quantity.
Yeah.
So take it from a 16 to 12. But for whatever reason, the tall skinnies,
Those are
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Talk to me a little bit about this.
I will gladly, because Hugo and Ceci are two of my favorite people. So Muñecas Micheladas is a local company here. Jimmy proudly carries them. This is where I first had them. I've actually had Ceci on the show for a Mother's Day episode because I wanted to. It was the first time I ever had moms on the show. So I had my sister-in-law and Ceci, and then of course Josh and I. And she made flights of micheladas. But what I really love about their flavor, this is their original, their bold flavor. I love it because I taste so much like smoke and bacony flavor, and it's perfect with beer.
I'm going to tell you this. So, after drinking these slushies, like the sweetness from it, like my taste buds gone.
Right.
So when he brought this and the rim, like my taste buds are back.
There you go.
Like, you know, like I
Got you
like
back.
All those flavors that you just talked about. Like, I made this face almost like, what the fuck did I just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Taste.
a little salty,
Yeah.
a little spicy.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Like-
They do a great job in Ceci. She's like I call her like a mad scientist when it comes to michelada mix, and she actually makes chamoy and the gummies. But the different flavors that she comes up with, and she does seasonal flavors and all kinds of crazy stuff. But
Ooh, you guys doing the miches? I just got
Yeah,
back.
we
You guys doing
did.
miches?
Well, because Hugo and Ceci walked by, so I was like, "Hey, Hugo," because I just told them they need to try it. Perfect timing.
Like my taste buds are back. Like everything from the sweetness from the slushies, and then we get the sourness. When you get this, I'm like,
Dude, so they came in one day like years ago, and they were like, "Oh, we got this like michelada mix that we're making. You know, it's just a little mom and pop spot." I tried it. I'm like, "This is fucking bomb, dude. Bring it
Yeah.
on." And now, ever since then, it's been our house miche mix,
Yeah.
and they've blossomed. I think Lucy gets it now.
Yep.
They're all over the place. So
They're at let's see, Lucy. Aren't they at the beer farm now?
Beer Farm has them.
Another brewery has them too. I
Yeah,
think.
they're down in San Diego at another brewery.
Yep.
So they've been moving ever since they came through here. So
Yeah. It's cool to see and know them personally because they're amazing people, both of them. But just like I cannot not like it. Every flavor that they make is amazing. Although I won't drink the pumpkin, even though they keep trying to get me to do it.
dude, the pumpkin one was okay. So a little backstory on that one. We were sitting around and we were pretty fucked up. We were just like drinking all night. It was like 2 a.m.
Where
and
you
they're like,
get your best ideas.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, how cool would it be if you guys made like an additive, like some kind of adjunct fucking like michelada mix that we could add to a stout or porter to make it like a, you know, like a one of those Starbucks fucking basic drinks, as Justin likes to say. And so they went to the drawing board, came back like a week and a half later, and they had it, and it was
Yeah.
fucking amazing. So like every winter we do like a pumpkin mix with beers and stuff like
That's
that.
fun.
We can add it to a lager, we add it to a porter, we add it to a stout. We'll do a rim with like
Didn't you do it in
pie
a cider,
mix.
like apple cider?
We do it apple
Yeah.
ciders. We'll do like a pie mix with a not chamoy, but oh my god, I can't think of it. We do a different kind of rimming on it.
Yeah.
It's like a sweet pie rimming on it. It's fantastic. So
Yeah, I'm glad you guys got to try it. Like
Attaboy,
perfect
Nico.
timing. Yeah, perfect timing as they walked in. I'm like, oh well, you're trying it.
Have they done a glitter version?
A glitter.
oh fuck, don't get me going with the glitter thing.
She will. You tell her, she'll do it.
It's like I don't want to do like glitter sparkle shits later on though. That's the only problem. I don't want to do
that's
that,
the
so.
best part. Like you look back and you're like,
Like, yes.
we do a lot of glitter
Yeah.
beers. Well, you've got fireworks stand in there. That's a
We do.
glitter beer.
We do.
You look back at that and you're like, man, that was 903s.
Joe Dirt
Thanks,
would be
903.
proud of that.
Thanks for
Yeah.
the disco shit I just
Yeah.
took right now.
Right.
I know 3 things.
Unicorn farts. Remember that beer? Yeah. You ever
I
had
remember
unicorn farts?
having unicorn farbs. So.
Yeah, but so I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so that's their bold flavor, and then they make so their cores are this, and it's the cucumber
Lime,
pineapple
jalapeno.
jalapeno.
Yeah.
She did a new one recent,
She
watermelon.
did
No?
a cherry one.
Cherry. Okay.
She did a cherry michelada mix. That was really
That's
good.
neat.
Beaumont's known for like cherries. This is like the cherry town. So for a cherry festival, she did a cherry.
That would be the
michelada mix,
903 Craft Lounge collab right there. Something with cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nico. Yes, Nico.
Go ahead.
Yes, Nico. What are you asking me?
Can we sell these separately yet?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
So,
It's all
that's
for
what we do
sale.
is sell beer, huh?
Business.
So our time here has been very interesting because we've been in and out of so many C stores, and the C store snacks here are super interesting. Today we saw salted dried plums, we saw dried fish
Yeah.
with salsa, but they had chamoy peach rings, which
Yeah.
I've never seen before.
Oh, we have them
Those
here.
here. Yeah, right up.
Do you really? I've never seen it before. I've had so much fun in the snack aisle this
Oh,
week.
so Ceci, the same one who does the Michelada mix,
She makes
does
candy, too.
chamoy candy also.
Really?
You
Okay.
missed it. I saw it at Louis.
At Louis Liquor.
Yeah, Louis had it,
Liquor.
yeah.
Nice.
And she does peach rings, she does watermelon, this
The
and
Gushers.
that.
Remember the
So
fruit
those are
Gushers?
hers. I didn't realize, I saw all of those. It's like these
Yeah.
look so good.
Yeah.
These are all great beer ideas too.
Oh,
Yes. SoCal loves the chamoy, the tahine, all that kind of stuff. It does well out here. So, and we eat the shit out of it. And your beers. I mean, how many micheladas do you make in a day usually?
Oh fuck, dude! I don't even want to think about it. There's so many times. I'm just like, I'm done with micheladas, man. I'm
like
sold out.
The glasses.
Yes, it's
Cleaning
a
'em.
pain in the
Yeah.
ass. Pain in the ass to
Yeah.
do that. But customers gotta have it, so
They love them. Yeah.
Well, shit.
cannot do.
Let's go drink some beer.
Let's do it. Yeah. Well, I think it's a good spot to end. We've had all the 903 beers. We got to sample some michelada mix from Muñecas. Made some new friends from Sherman, Texas, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Somebody's
Jeremy,
got
Natalie.
snacks approaching.
And look at
Oh,
that.
and Juju is delivering you guys some hot dogs. These are hot dogs are for you guys. I got those
Oh
for you.
my goodness.
Those look beautiful.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you.
Juju's
These are-
hot dogs.
Oh my
With Juju's
God.
hot dogs.
Hottest
with
buns in the Inland Empire.
Hottest buns.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought you guys might be hungry after some beer, so I got you guys some dogs.
Good looking out.
It's got bacon,
Oh my
onions,
bacon wrap.
peppers.
Yeah.
It's got all the good stuff on there.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a
she's one of
bacon wrap.
she's one of our
Wow.
favorites. So she comes through in a pinch all the time. So
Well, thank y'all for having us out, and thank you for the pint night.
oh,
Yeah.
of course, man. Thank you guys for
the
coming
Tap
out.
Takeover.
I'm honored that you guys chose us to be that. So you know what I mean. So
It's a cool
Thanks for
spot, and it
coming
looks like the locals have really taken on. Like I said, I saw a lot of flights going out. And
So I want to be invited back though for the anniversary party in March. I will
it.
be here.
Do it.
and we'll bring a special keg just for.
oh fuck
Yes.
yeah, it's on.
but-
you heard it here first, guys.
But here's the deal. I want a
Okay.
big stout. I don't want to. I want to bring a slushy
Okay.
or pills. I want to bring a
Bring it.
barrel aged stout. And
Bring
it
it.
may be one of the only places in California to get it.
Okay.
So I want to come
Nice.
back in March for the
Yeah.
anniversary party.
Let's
And
do it.
If it's anything like our last one, we had probably 300 to 400 people here at one time. It was insane.
Yeah, it was fun.
So there was a parking for like blocks and blocks and blocks.
So when you open a bar, you don't realize how many people are going to come into your life and become your new family, and you're their new family. Like you don't know. And then when you have an anniversary party, like it's so amazing.
Oh, wow. It
to
was
see
insane.
your new family like all in one room. It's so
Yeah.
much
All right,
fun.
so Mark, we're going to be here. We're going to bring something
All right,
special
Mark.
for it.
I'm going to
So
hold
we're-
you, Jeremy.
all
I'm
right.
going to hold you to that.
Or we will.
All right.
We're going to work
All
it
right.
out with Tim right after.
All right.
Make it a longer trip. We'll do Disneyland too.
Yes,
let's
I'm
do it.
in.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
Awesome. Well,
That
thanks
would
for
be
having
easy.
us on.
All right, yeah.
Of
Thanks
course.
for coming, and you guys get to experience our closing of the show. You're going to meet our grandma. We've had her hiding in the back for a while, but yeah, 903 Brewers, Sherman, Texas.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the beers are amazing. Thanks, guys. It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Grandma, take us home.
They also practice by drinking the urine of a ram.
The what?
They drink ram's piss.
Because of the pH balance?
No, because if you can drink ram's piss, fuck, you can drink almost anything.
She said fuck.
Oh, what is the malted liquor? What gets you drunk or quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer! Can't get enough of it. Beer! How we really love it. Beer! Makes me think I'm a man. Beer! I could kiss and hug it. Beer! But I'd rather chug it. Beer! Got my belly out to here. Beer! I could not refuse it. Beer! I could really use it. Beer! 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 I can't remember how much I have had. I drank a 12-pack with my dad.